On 4th February 2021, Qatar reimposes some COVID curbs. The cabinet has reimposed several COVID-19 restrictions to ensure health and safety of all members of society. The cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister and Minister of Interior Sheikh Khalid bin Khalifa bin Abdulaziz Al Thani, on Wednesday, took the decision after listening to the explanation provided by Minister of Public Health on coronavirus and reviewing the report of the Crisis Management Committee. The decisions will go into effect from Thursday, 4th February 2021. The only exception will be the decision on banning indoor and outdoor weddings, which goes into effect starting Feb 7. Until further notice. As per the decision, a maximum of 80% of the employees in both the government and private sectors will be allowed at their workplace, while the remaining 20% can work remotely from their homes or upon request, depending on the circumstances. A maximum of 15 people will be allowed in a meeting in both the government and private sectors, with precautionary measures in place. According to the cabinet decision, all citizens and residents must wear masks when leaving the house for any reason, unless the person is present by himself while driving the vehicle. Also, all citizens and residents are obliged to activate ETRAS application on smartphones when leaving the house for any reason. Mosques will continue to remain open for daily prayers and Friday prayers, while toilets and ablution facilities remain closed. No more than 5 people are allowed in closed places. A maximum of 15 people are allowed in open places during visits, in condolences and in gatherings. Similarly, a maximum of 15 people are allowed in winter camps. The cabinet also decided against holding wedding parties in closed and open spaces until further notice. This excludes home or majlis weddings, in the presence of no more than 10 people in closed places and 20 people in open spaces who are relatives of the spouses. They are required to notify the Ministry of Interior of the date and place of the wedding and pledging to abide by the precautionary measures. The cabinet also decided to close the playgrounds and exercise equipment in public parks, beaches and the Corniche, with gatherings being limited to 15 people. As per the decision, no more than 4 people are allowed in the vehicle, including the vehicle's driver. This excludes families when leaving and moving in vehicles. It decided to continue work with the decision of reducing the number of people transported by buses to the half of the bus capacity, while taking precautionary measures. Metro services and public transport will continue to operate with a maximum capacity of 30%. Driving schools are required to operate at a reduced capacity of 25%. Cinemas and theaters will continue operate with a capacity not exceeding 30%, and not to allow entry to persons under 18 years of age. The cabinet decided to reduce the capacity of educational centers and private training centers to 30%. Similarly, the capacity of nurseries and childcare reduced to 30%. Public museums and libraries are required to operate at 50% capacity. Individual educational sessions can be held in centers designated for people with special needs. Training for professional sports teams is limited to no more than 40 people indoors and 20 people outdoors, with no audience. It is a must to obtain prior approval from the Ministry of Public Health to organize local and international sport events, while prohibiting public attendance indoors and allowing their presence outdoors with a capacity not exceeding 20%. As per the decision, prior approval from the Ministry of Public Health is mandatory to hold exhibitions, conferences and various events. Commercial complexes will continue to operate with a maximum capacity of 50%. All food courts in the commercial complexes to be shut and they are allowed to take takeaway orders only. Restaurants and cafes are allowed to serve food and beverages indoors with a capacity that does not exceed 15%. Restaurants with a Clean Qatar program certificate can operate with a capacity not exceeding 30%. All restaurants and cafes are allowed to serve food and drinks in their outdoors, with a maximum capacity of 50%. The services of renting boats and tourist yachts have been suspended. Owners of boats and personal yachts are obligated, if they are used, that no more than 15 people are on board. The cabinet decided to reduce the capacity of traditional markets to 50% and wholesale markets to 30%. The capacity of barber shops and beauty salons has been reduced to 30%. The cabinet decided to close indoor amusement parks and all entertainment centers in commercial complexes, and allowing them to work in outdoors only, with a maximum capacity of 30%. Health clubs and physical training clubs can operate with a maximum capacity of 30%. Massage services in 5-star hotels are allowed only with a capacity not exceeding 30%. All saunas and steam rooms, jacuzzi services and Moroccan and Turkish baths will remain closed. The cabinet decided to close all indoor swimming pools and water parks. However, outdoor swimming pools and water parks can operate with a maximum capacity of 30%. The work of private healthcare facilities continues to provide all their services. The conditions and precautionary measures set by the Ministry of Public Health must be taken into consideration. All governmental bodies must ensure the adherence to the health and precautionary measures by employees and visitors, while taking the appropriate measures with violators. If any employee in a governmental body makes a complaint regarding the failure to comply with the precautionary measures at their place of work, the complaint is raised to the minister or the head of the governmental body to take the appropriate measures. The Ministry of Interior, the Ministry of Public Health, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and other governmental bodies are in charge of taking the necessary measures to ensure adherence to the precautionary measures, all within their powers and jurisdiction. The Cabinet noted the continuation of the current education plan in all public and private schools and kindergartens at the current levels with the implementation of the weekly rotating attendance schedules. The Cabinet also said that the current travel, return, and quarantine policies will continue as is, with the Ministry of Public Health updating of the COVID-19 green list countries. The Cabinet called on citizens and residents to adhere to the precautionary measures to contain the virus and avoid the penalties stipulated in Decree Law No. 17 of 1990 on communicable diseases, amended in Law No. 9 of 2020. The Cabinet called on citizens and residents to complete their transactions with governmental and private entities using electronic systems and applications, and avoid visiting them unless it was absolutely necessary.